All right, you're welcome to this episode of our training on road design using civil 3D. If you have been following, you agree with me, we're able to do some little. I spoke about reconnaissance survey. We're able to check our topography and be sure of our topography. So if that is correct, right now we are going to save this particular data as a place. So I will just right click on it and click on save place as. So I can save this as KMZ. So I'll save this data. So make sure you save it at a location or a directory that you can easily trace. So mine is on my desktop. You can see this is YouTube training. So there is a website that we will use in order for us to extract those data that we have been able to generate from our Google Earth. So you go to your browser and you search GPS visualizer. So you search GPS visualizer. I'm going to search visualizer / elevations because some of them may not generate these elevations. The visualizer app software website rather stand to be corrected, but it comes literally like about two different, so you have like two different display of that website. So I want the one that will take me directly to where I can see my digital, this is assigned digital elevation model elevation data to coordinates. So this is the one I am looking for. All right, so basically all I need to do now is just to click on choose file. So I will go to my desktop and I will search for YouTube training and I'll click on open. So it has opened that for me. So you can see here, convert and add elevation. The reason why I want this to convert and add elevation, some of them may generate your data for you to show you all that you need, but the elevation will not display. So it's important that you use this that will bring up your elevation. So all I need to do is just to click on convert and add elevation. So that is loading. Oh, I think okay, this is not what I want, sorry. I will export, I will save this as KML. Sorry, let me save it as KML, but I will rename it. So, name. I'll go back to my GPS visualizer and I will choose the file, new, convert. So this is basically where I'm facing that problem from. So I'm supposed to convert this to a plain text, right? Very important. I'm supposed to make this a plain text. So this is a plain text. So I have, so this is my, you can see my latitude, longitude, and then my altitude, which is my elevation. So I can simply just download this. So I will click on download. So it's a text. Right, that has been downloaded. I will click on this, so it will take me to the directory where that file is. So I can just simply copy these files and take them to my Excel. And then look for my Excel. Good. So I'm here now. I will just delete this. So, okay. So what I will do now is to make sure that I copy this. I have a converter that I usually use. So this converter helps me to convert latitude and longitude to easting and northing. So like so all I need to do is just to, I can simply just go and copy my latitude and longitude, and automatically it will convert them to easting and northing. So I have highlighted them. I will just take it down to my converter, and I will simply just highlight this. So all I need to do right now is just to click on, there's already a data here, do you want to replace? So I will just replace it. So if you look at this very well, automatically the easting, northing, it has helped us to convert this to easting and northing, right? So all I need to do is just to drag down until the end of this, and then I will copy. So I keep going. Aha. So once you get to the ending of the data, you get to know. You can see there's a difference here. The easting, northing here starts from here starts from 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. This one is 10.5, like that. So you get to know once you get to the ending of that. So this is it. So I can simply copy this. What I normally like to do is to sometimes just use my notepad and then paste, because when I paste directly from into the Excel, sometimes it doesn't give me what I want. But let's try and see if we will get what we want. So let's say new blank. Good. You see, this is basically what I'm talking about. So I will use my notepad. But for the Microsoft Excel gurus, you can help us. But for me, this is just how I go around it. Control A to highlight, Control C to copy. So what I do is just to go through this way. If I go through this route, it will work normal. Oh, sorry. So when I copy this, I see scroll down. So I'm not a Microsoft Excel guru. I barely use Microsoft Excel, so permit me if I'm not as fast as you expect me to be, as far as Microsoft Excel is concerned. Alright, so we are here. Now I have my, let's say this is 1, this is 2, okay, Okay, perfect. So as it is now, I have my point, I have my E, I have my N, I have my Z, right? But I don't have a description. Now, because I generated this from Google Earth, so I don't have a description for this. But one thing you should know is for a proper Excel, for a proper survey data, you are supposed to have a description. Unlike what I have here, which I generated, like I said, it is always recommended that you only use Google Earth to generate your data, just mainly for probably presentation. But for a real life project, I personally don't recommend it, because you have some difference of about even 20 meters and all of that. So that could be a whole lot for you when it comes to cost, right? So it's important that you after your presentation, after you want to do a real life project this time, and it's important that you go to the site physically and take your data, right? But for the purpose of this class, we're able to generate our survey data from Google Earth, which is what we have right now. So we have our point, we have eastern, we have northern, and then we have our Z, right? So then, since we now have all of this, but like I said, for a standard project, you are going to have a description. So if you look at this is sample of a survey data which was taken with survey instruments. So this is a standard real life project that was done. So you can see we have CLCL, which means center line. Sometimes it's important that you ask the surveyor what he means in his description, just in case you are not getting that clarity on it. Now FNC means fence. So based on what was done here, so we have the beginning of the fence, which is BEG, and then the ending of the fence. So maybe along where you are designing or doing your projects, you may have some fence, right? If you look at this Google Earth very well, you look at this very well, you discover there are some you see a lot of building structures by the left hand and also by the right hand side. If you look at this very well, this tells you that this is a fence, right? If you remember, we said when taking your point, if the surveyor is taking his point, it's important to know take out points for your fence. It's very, very important. But you know, this is already an existing road that has been done. So maybe for a new project where you don't have an existing paved road, there is high chances that you may have some fence that may fall around the right of way. You may have some trees that will fall around the right of way. So all of these informations are very, very important. You have a stream probably along the right of way, and then this road, if this road was never paved, then you have this road as already an existing road. You may need to take some points along this area in order for you, just like what we have here. We have this road which has not been constructed yet, so this is an unpaved road. Because this road has not been constructed, if you want to construct this road now, we need to know, we need to pick some points along this road, which is the edge of asphalt. Very, very important. So this edge of asphalt help us to, when we are constructing this road, so that it will fall exactly at the same level with this road, or else we are going to have problem. You understand? So if there's a difference in the levels, then there is a problem. So you must find a way to connect this road with this one. So these are all very key important informations that we must pick when doing our road. designs. Okay, so if you look at this very well, these are all building structures along here. I'm sure this is a fence line, right? So this is also a fence line, and you know you cannot have a continuous fence from here all through. So you have a beginning of the fence that starts for this building, for example, and then you have the ending of this particular building, and then another fence can start from here and then probably ends here. So as simple as these informations that I'm mentioning here in this video can be, this is one of the most biggest challenges you are going to face when doing a real life project, right? So these informations are very, very important. You can see this is gate, GT gate. This gate is actually very, very important when you are doing your road design as well, because you already have some existing building structures. You don't want your road to be too far from the gate level in terms of height, when it comes to whether it is too high for it or it is too low for it. So there is a minimum height that your pavement should go, either above or below the gate level, right? So this gate that you see is one of the most important things that you must take note of, right? Gate is one of the most important points, I must say for a fact. It shouldn't be more than 6%, right? It shouldn't be more than 6% when it comes to the grade. It shouldn't be more than 6% along this gate area that you are seeing, right? And then you should not go more than 500 mm either below or above this gate level that you see. Any of these gates that you see shouldn't go below or above. These are very, very key, very key important informations. And then we have the ground, which is GRND. Like I said, for maybe some other surveyors, they may probably use a different description, you get. But one thing you should know, that these descriptions are very, very key, and they are very, very important. You can see the starting of a stream and then the ending of a stream, the starting of a stream and then the ending of a stream. So you have some streams here. This stream is very, very important. I mentioned it earlier on. At the beginning of your inlet, around the inlet of your stream, you should even pick some points about 50 meters. Around the outlet, also pick some points about 50 meters. They are very, very important informations that you should have in your survey data. Then we'll talk about the trees. Very, very important that you take your 3 points. You can see we have trees along this. So if you look at this Google Earth, I'm not sure we have any tree very close here, because like I said, this is an existing road. So for a new road, probably you may have some trees. And you know, I mentioned there is right of way. For highway, we have right of way, right? Which is it used to be 30 meters, but I learned that is 47.5 meters now. So you can go as far as measuring from this to know what distance you have. Is very, very important. But this is not like a major highway per se. So but these are the key informations that you should take note of when you are doing your road design. So you can just use this measure to check the distance. If you look at this, we have a fence here and then we have another fence here. For those of you that knows this place very well, this is about 20.48 meters. So for those of you that know this area, I think custom office used to be around here. It's still around here if I am not mistaken. So you wouldn't want to do your road and then you are entering, or your alignment is going into the custom office. That means you are trying to demolish their offices, except in a case where you have done everything possible based on standard and nothing is going through. Then in that case, it may affect some fence, it may affect some building, but you will have to, as the engineer, find a way to run away from having all of these serious destruction, maybe bringing down fence, bringing down buildings and all of that. If you have done everything possible based on standard and it's not going through, but you must minimize it to the barest minimum. So that is what makes you a professional as an engineer. It's very important. You can see some very sweet curves that are here. We made a mistake. We would have just even designed this road inside, since it's not paved. This would have been a bit more interesting. Just maybe later we may probably go through this one as well, so that we can appreciate it. I think there is a graveyard around here, if I'm not mistaken. This is it. For those of you that knows this axis very well. So this is a, if you look at this, we have one very interesting curve here. We have one very interesting curve here. All right, so this would have been way more interesting to design than this, sincerely. Maybe if we had gone down to this point. So these are fence lines, these are fence, so the surveyor is supposed to take this point for us. You can see we have a tree here, but it's inside this building. So if we had this tree outside, probably we take that point. I think these trees are within this grave. We have a cemetery here, so but I think these trees are outside, so we'll take these points for these trees and all of that. So these are very key information, as simple as they may sound, but they are very key. They are very important, because if you cut down tree, you are supposed to pay normally per tree, because you are supposed to pay to a government agency, I've forgotten the name, which are supposed to replant them, so you pay for that. So that is why, as the engineer, in your design, you are trying to, in engineering we say safety and economical. That is basically what we always consider safety, and then we consider the cost. These are two very important things that we take note of as a civil engineer. So if that is correct, we'll come back to our survey data and let's look at what we have. So we have spoken about the three center line, edge of asphalt, like I explained earlier. You have some edge of asphalt, which is this. For example, if you are designing this road, we must find a way to connect it with the edge of asphalt here. Very important, so that you won't have this 1 meter above this particular existing road. If you have this 1 meter above the existing road, so what are you doing? You are definitely going to kill a lot of people. So you must find a way to connect this. So you must pick all those points, if at all you are designing this particular road only, and then you must pick this point that goes like this, in order for you to be able to connect this particular road with this one. So that is that. I have spoken extensively. We can also use this data as it is, even though we don't have a description. So you can insert those description if you feel like you want to have a description, but obviously we didn't take those points for those trees and those fence here, because this is not a real life. We are just using Google Earth to generate our points, so we didn't take all those points, so it's not going to be relevant here. So we can only just maybe name all of these center line. We can just name all these points center line if we want to do that. So but I wouldn't want to go into that stress right now. So if that is correct, so another thing I'm going to do now is to, and another very important information that I know most of the time people ask me of is, how do you tell which one of these is an easting and which of these is a northern when you are giving data? Because sometimes this can be interchanged. You can have the northern here and you have the eastern here. It's very possible, right? If that is correct, if you check these according to based on my mentors. If you notice, you discover that the eastern values are usually less than the northern values when it comes to the difference. You will see that the northern values are usually higher than the eastern values. So that is how I usually used to easily tell which is eastern and which of them is northern. That is just the basic or the major ways to know which of them is an eastern value and which of them is a northern value. So this is basically how to tell. So if you look at this now, like I said earlier, this is our point, this is our eastern, this is our northern, this is our elevation. Similarly, if this was to be here and this eastern value to be here, it will now be eastern, northern, sorry, it will now be point, northern, eastern, and then elevation. Right, so by the time we open our Civil 3D software, I'll be able to explain that better in order for you to understand. I have spoken extensively on this. I wouldn't want to go too far anymore. A reminder, if you want to register with us for our Civil 3D course, which is coming on the 3rd of November. It's very, very important. All you need to do. All right. This file now as a CSV file is very, very important. The format you are saving your file is very, very important. So I will save it as a CSV file. I can go to my documents and I will save this as YouTube training let's make it like this. So I will use comma separated value, which is the meaning of CSV, means comma separated value. So you can save it as a CSV file. You can also save it as a text file, but it is highly recommended you save it as comma separated value. Civil 3D recognizes any of this format. Any of this format is very, very good. Civil 3D will be able to recognize it. So once you do that, you can just save. So once I save my file, I can be able to open it in my Civil 3D. So if you have been able to get to this point, I tell you a very big congratulations. Like I said, my name is Abel Bray Kantoma. I'm from Greatest Design Consult. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or call me on any of these numbers. I have spoken extensively on so many softwares for the past 5 years, covering structures, covering mechanical electrical service drawings, covering highway, which is our road designs, and then even water designs as well. So I'll see you on the next one, and then make sure you subscribe, like, and share.